Have you ever stopped to wonder what silent burdens you're still carrying and how they might be quietly stealing your peace? Have you ever asked yourself, what if the heaviest weight you bear isn't the years on your shoulders, but the memories, expectations, and fears you've never truly set down? After all the roads you've traveled, after all the storms you've weathered, could it be that something unseen is still chaining you to a past that no longer serves you? And more importantly, what if the greatest gift you could give yourself right now isn't more doing, but more releasing? You see, life after 70 holds a different kind of wisdom. It's no longer about climbing, achieving, or impressing. It's about freeing, about choosing, about honoring the life that still blooms inside you, even as the seasons change. But true freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens when we dare to let go. Let go of the things, the beliefs, the relationships that quietly chip away at our peace. Let go of the invisible weights we've carried for far too long, thinking we had no choice. Let go, not out of bitterness, but out of deep, sacred respect for the life that still burns within us. Today, I want to invite you into a conversation, one that could change the quality of every moment you have left. Together, we're going to uncover 5 silent burdens you must release after 70 if you truly seek a life of clarity, dignity, and deep, unshakable joy. And before we begin, if messages like this speak to your heart, if you believe that your best, most authentic years are still ahead, I warmly invite you to subscribe. Let's keep growing, learning, and living fully together. Number 1, throw away the need for approval. Since the first cries of our infancy, approval has been the currency of belonging. A smile from a parent, a nod from a teacher, applause from a crowd. We learn to mold ourselves to receive it. We wear masks, some heavy, some suffocating, just to hear the simple, addictive affirmation, "You're good enough." But after 70, it's time to ask a harder question. At what cost? How many dreams were left unexplored because someone else disapproved? How many moments of honesty were swallowed back because silence felt safer? How many times did you say yes while your soul screamed no? The painful truth is, no matter how carefully you walk, someone will always find fault. No matter how much you offer, someone will always think it's not enough. Approval is a moving target, and chasing it will leave you breathless and lost. Now, standing at the precious threshold of your later years, you are given a sacred invitation to lay down the burden of needing to be liked. It does not mean you must be cold or indifferent. True kindness flows from authenticity, not performance. It means speaking the truth with love. It means setting boundaries without apology. It means making choices not to appease others, but to honor your deepest values. Yes, some people may drift away. Yes, some may judge you harshly. But those who remain the ones who love you, not for what you give them, but for who you truly are, will become rare treasures. And most importantly, you will recover a forgotten friend, yourself. No more shrinking to fit someone else's mold. No more bending to chase someone else's approval. There is a profound peace that comes when you realize you have nothing left to prove and everything left to live. If these words are awakening something inside you, don't forget to subscribe. You deserve to walk these final chapters with your head held high, heart wide open, and spirit fully free. Number 2, throw away. Regret. Regret is a slow poison, a whisper from the past that creeps into your present, draining the color from what could still be beautiful. It tells you should have done better. It repeats, you missed your chance. It accuses, you failed. And oh, how heavy those accusations become over the decades. By the time you reach 70, the landscape behind you is filled with memories, some shining with joy, others casting long, sorrowful shadows. Maybe you think of the words you never said, the apology you never offered, the dream you placed on a dusty shelf, always telling yourself, one day. Maybe you think of the times you betrayed your own heart for someone else's comfort. Or the crossroads where you wonder, if only I had chosen differently. But here is a truth few dare to say aloud. Regret will not redeem what is past. No amount of self-recrimination can rewrite even a single yesterday. The past is a book already printed. The ink is dry. The pages are bound. What remains in your hands now is not the power to rewrite old chapters, but to write new ones with greater tenderness, wisdom, and courage. Regret, when clung to, becomes a jailer. But regret, when honored and released, becomes a teacher. You are not here to be punished for the things you could not foresee, the lessons you had not yet learned, the humanity you have always carried. You are here to live the life that remains. If you have loved and lost, let that loss teach you to love more fiercely now. If you have failed and fallen, let those bruises remind you that every sunrise is another chance. If you have wounded others or yourself, let the weight of that sorrow move you to be gentler, starting with today. And if forgiving yourself feels impossible, imagine a dear friend sitting before you, carrying the same regrets. Would you condemn them? Or would you open your arms and say, "You are human. You are still worthy. You still have time"? Offer yourself the same mercy. There is no expiration date on redemption. There is no age at which you must surrender hope. Every morning your eyes open is proof that life is not finished with you yet. Let go of regret, my friend, not because the past was perfect, but because you are no longer willing to let yesterday steal the beauty of today. If these words are touching your heart, I invite you once more to subscribe. There is still so much life left to live, and it begins by setting yourself free. Number 3, throw away toxic relationships. There are weights heavier than regret, heavier even than fear. And among them, perhaps the heaviest is this: the burden of relationships that quietly break you down, one small piece at a time. As the years pass, many people gather relationships like souvenirs, some bright, some chipped, some tarnished beyond recognition. We tell ourselves we must keep them because of time, because of blood, because of shared memories. But not all bonds are meant to last forever. And not every person who walked with you for a season is meant to walk with you forever. By the time you reach 70, you know, deep in your bones, which connections breathe life into you and which ones slowly suffocate your spirit. You know who lifts you up when you falter and who secretly delights when you fall. You know who listens with an open heart and who only pretends to care, waiting for their turn to speak. You know who sees your worth and who only sees what you can do for them. And still we cling, out of duty, out of guilt, out of fear of loneliness. But here's the truth: history alone is not enough. If a relationship consistently robs you of your peace, your energy, your joy, then time spent maintaining it is not loyalty. It is self-betrayal. It is not cruel to walk away from those who drain you. It is not unkind to protect your peace. It is not selfish to say, "I choose not to carry your chaos anymore." Letting go of toxic relationships is not an act of hatred. It is an act of deep, profound love for yourself. When you release the people who take more than they give, you make room for something extraordinary. Genuine connections are built on trust, kindness, and mutual respect. Moments of solitude that feel nourishing, not lonely. The quiet realization that your worth was never tied to the approval of those who could not even see it. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you no longer have to tiptoe. You no longer have to shrink yourself. You no longer have to brace for the next subtle jab, the next manipulation, the next wave of unspoken disappointment. Imagine the lightness of living surrounded only by those who celebrate your existence, not those who endure it. That peace, that freedom, is worth everything. And if these words are speaking to something deep within you, I invite you to subscribe, because you deserve to spend the rest of your life surrounded by light, not shadow. Number 4, throw away the fear of death. There is a shadow that walks beside every living soul, sometimes close enough to feel its breath, sometimes distant like a faint memory. It is the knowledge that one day, sooner or later, this journey will end. For many, this shadow becomes a silent terror. Especially after 70, when the ticking of the clock grows louder and the seasons seem to change more swiftly than before, The fear of death can begin to steal the very life it has not yet touched. But let me offer you another way to see it. Death is not the enemy. Fear is. Death is a natural closing of the circle, as natural as the setting sun, the falling leaf, the winter snow. It does not come to punish. It simply comes because all journeys must at some point find their rest. What robs us of joy is not death itself, but the way we resist even thinking of it. We live half-lives, tiptoeing around the inevitable, making ourselves small with worry, missing the moments that could have been savored with open arms and grateful hearts. But what if you chose instead to walk alongside this shadow with courage, even tenderness? What if remembering your mortality became the very thing that made your life more vibrant? When you stop fearing death, simple things transform. The morning coffee becomes a sacred ritual. A hug from a loved one feels like eternity pressed into a moment. A walk in the sun becomes a symphony of sensations you might have otherwise rushed past. The fear of death thrives on unfinished business, unsaid apologies, unpursued dreams, unlived days. But you, standing where you are right now, still have time. Time to say, I'm sorry. Time to say, I love you. Time to laugh until your sides ache, to dance even if your knees protest, to see the beauty still tucked inside each fleeting moment. Death will come, yes, but until it does, you are magnificently, gloriously alive. Don't let the fear of the end shrink the fullness of the middle. Don't let the unknown paralyze the wonder still possible. And when the final breath comes, because it must, you will meet it not with terror, but with a soul at peace, a heart brimming with gratitude, and no unfinished songs left unsung. If this vision stirs something inside you, I invite you once more to subscribe. Because this journey, your journey, deserves to be lived with open eyes, fearless heart, and unwavering wonder. Number 5, throw away the belief that change is no longer possible. Somewhere along the way, a quiet lie is whispered into our hearts. You're too old to change. It's too late for you. This is just how life is now. Accept it. And at first, we resist. We dream. We hope. We reach for new beginnings. But when the world echoes that lie often enough, when family, friends, even strangers reinforce it, we begin to shrink into it. We stop trying. We stop believing. We surrender not because we are incapable, but because we are convinced it is foolish to hope for more. But hear me now, that lie is not your truth. It never was. At 70, 80, even 90, the soul still stirs. The heart still longs. The mind still hungers to learn, to experience, to expand beyond the borders it once knew. You are not a stone, fixed and unmoving. You are a river, still flowing, still carving new paths even through the hardest rock. History is full of those who began again long after the world expected them to fade. Artists who painted their finest masterpieces in their 70s. Writers who penned their greatest words after 80. Lovers who found new companionships when others believed romance had passed them by. Change does not belong only to the young. It belongs to the willing. To those brave enough to say, I am still here. I am still capable. I am still becoming. Of course, change asks something of you. Okay, it asks you to step beyond comfort, to question long-held fears, to trust that the seeds of new beginnings can still take root, even in seasoned soil. But oh, the reward, to wake up and feel wonder again, to stretch your mind around a new idea, to discover a hidden talent, a new friend, a part of yourself you thought lost to time. The body may grow more slowly, the mirror may reflect a face lined by years, but inside, where it matters, you are still limitless. The belief that you cannot change is the last, cruelest cage, and today, right now, you hold the key. So let yourself dream again. Let yourself dare again. Let yourself live not just out of habit, but out of bold, conscious choice. The chapters ahead are still unwritten. The pen is still in your hands, And if you believe, as I do, that your story still holds miracles yet to come, I warmly invite you one last time to subscribe. Because together we can keep choosing life, growth, and wonder, no matter how many candles are on the cake. Number 6, throw away the need to rush. In a world obsessed with speed, it's easy to believe that faster is always better. From the time we are young, we are praised for quick thinking, swift decisions, and busy schedules. We are taught that life is a race and that slowing down means falling behind. But after 70, a quieter truth begins to whisper. Life is not a race. It never was. Yet many still carry the invisible pressure to hurry to fix things, hurry to achieve, hurry to mend every broken piece before time runs out. This urgency, though understandable, robs the sweetness from the time you have left. It turns moments that could have been savored into tasks to be checked off a list. It steals the simple pleasures, the way sunlight falls through the window, the way a grandchild's laughter fills a room, the way a quiet morning feels like a gift from the universe itself. Slowing down is not giving up. Slowing down is choosing to be present. It is saying, this moment is enough. It is allowing yourself to move through life at the pace your soul longs for, not the frantic pace the world demands. Because the truth is, you are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you are meant to be, at the perfect tempo your spirit needs to breathe, to notice, to cherish. Imagine no longer rushing through conversations, but truly listening. Imagine no longer rushing through meals, but tasting every flavor. Imagine no longer rushing through days, but feeling them stretch wide and deep with meaning. When you throw away the need to rush, you reclaim the greatest luxury of all, time fully lived. Even now, even here, your days can open up like a wide, beautiful sky, not filled with to-do lists, but filled with being alive, being grateful, being present. You don't have to earn this by lowering down. You don't have to justify it. You only have to claim it. And if these words resonate with you, if you're ready to live your days not faster, but fuller, I invite you once more to subscribe. Because this season of life deserves to be savored, not sprinted through. My dear friend, if there is one truth that shines clearly with every passing year, it is this. The greatest gift you can offer yourself is not more time. There is more life inside the time you have. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no invisible weights on your back. No more desperate need for approval. No more chains of regret. No more draining relationships that steal your light. No more fear of what lies ahead. No more lie that says you cannot change. No more racing through moments too precious to rush. Instead, imagine waking up lighter, freer, grateful simply to be alive, and deeply at peace with the life you are still creating. Because here's the truth. Your story is not over. It never was. As long as your heart beats, there are still chapters left to write. Chapters filled with laughter, wisdom, forgiveness, courage, and yes, even wonder. You are not defined by what you carry. You are defined by what you dare to set down. And today, right now, you have the sacred right to set it all down. So walk forward, not burdened, but blessed. Not rushed, but rooted. Not afraid, but alive. The final decades of your life can be your most radiant yet, if you choose to live them with open hands, open heart, and open eyes. And if you believe, as I believe, that there is still beauty waiting for you, still songs to sing, still love to give, still sunsets to marvel at, I invite you one last time to subscribe. Because this isn't just about growing older. It's about growing freer, growing lighter, growing more fully alive. And that, my dear friend, is a journey worth sharing. Puniu.